I'm stuck. I've wanted to escape for a very long time, but these walls won't let me. It's worse than any prison. It feels like solitary confinement. One room, no escape. I'm left alone to drive myself insane. I'm held captive by my own mind, and all I'm left to do is wish for someone to keep me company. But no one is there. No one to talk to. No one to share my ideas with. But who knows? Maybe my ideas aren't worth listening to. They say there is no such thing as an original idea, which I guess makes sense. How am I supposed to stand out when so many people exist on this tiny planet? This place is swarming with people, yet no one seems to care. Everyone is too wrapped up in their own world and their own ideas, which are all equally unoriginal. It's as if everyone is completely oblivious to the fact that they're all doing the same thing over and over again. Why does everything feel the same? Why does this prison follow me everywhere I go? It doesn't matter how many people are actually with me in person. They feel like they're many miles away, like I'm less than a blip in someone else's story. As if I'm crying for help in a crowd of people without anyone giving the slightest care or concern. Maybe if they had a reason to care, then none of this would be an issue. But there is nothing special about me. I'm an average person, living an average life. Why should someone care about me? Why can't I be more unique? Why did this universe choose to put some people on a pedestal while everyone else is expected to sit back and bow down, as if they're any better than we are? But people treat celebrities and influencers as if they're gods. It seems like the people that scream the loudest, act the stupidest, and make all the worst decisions are rewarded as if they're doing nothing wrong. But I guess all publicity is good publicity. Maybe the world has become so mundane that seeing anyone act out of line is enough to parade them around as if every day was a holiday. So, maybe it's not their fault. The more I think about it, the more I start to think it's my own fault. It's not as if I'm doing anything worth talking about. It's not as if I'm changing the world or doing anything mildly interesting. People say that your actions shouldn't define you, yet it's all I have to remember me by. That probably explains why no one seems to care. My actions just aren't worth anyone else's time. It seems like I'm living the same boring day over and over again, as if my life is on repeat, or maybe time has come to a complete stop, because nothing seems to change. I'll wake up in the same bed, in the same town, in the same country, on the same planet. I must have eaten the same meal 1,000 times. I've seen the same sunrise, and the same sunset. What exactly is different here? Maybe things have gotten even worse now, but that's not really all that special, now is it? You know that feeling you get at the end of the day sometimes when you're laying there doing nothing, thinking back on everything that happened that day, just to realize that none of it mattered? Why do I feel like that's my entire life sometimes? Maybe, just maybe, if there was at least one thing special about me. Anything I could use to just give myself a reason to keep going. But I guess not everyone can be special. If everyone was special, no one would be, right? Isn't that the whole reason superheroes are super to begin with? Why can't I just live an exciting life like we see in the movies and comics and books and every piece of fiction ever written? Maybe we only write those things because it's who we wish we could be, rather than who we are. Nope, I'm just the guy you see for a few seconds and then forget about. I want to be a time traveler. I want to have superpowers. I want to be the guy who saves the day. But I guess not everyone can be special. Why do I feel like every little thing I do to contribute to someone else's life could have been done by someone else? Every role I fill, every responsibility I have, it's all replaceable. It gets to the point where you start to question literally every aspect of yourself, realizing that you can think of at least one person that shares all the same qualities as you, and likely, you can think of someone who is better than you. Maybe there is something you're really good at, a hobby, a sport, your job, whatever it is. Maybe you're even the best at that particular thing, but it doesn't matter. Someone out there is better than you, or if not, there will be one day. All of your achievements, goals, and all the best aspects of you and I will be surpassed by someone far better than us. And I think that's what hurts the most, because these are the things that we most likely consider to be the best part of ourselves. Every ounce of time and energy I put into shaping myself into a unique individual will be overshadowed by someone who is smarter, stronger, and luckier than I am. But I guess not everyone can be special. And I know some of you will just say that I'm being a pessimist, but how do you not expect me to see it that way when literally any group of people have their favorites? At work, in families, online, among friends, it's everywhere. We pick the one or two people with the right amount of talent to be our leaders, our employers, our politicians, our kings. And then those at the top with the ability to promote us play favorites, picking only the ones that think like them and act like them, regardless of their qualifications. In the end, it leaves regular, uninteresting people to get stuck living the same boring day over and over again. And here I lie, regular and uninteresting. Why does this prison follow me everywhere I go? It's not as if I haven't tried being unique. Everyone tries something different. Maybe it's your appearance, maybe it's your personality, maybe it's even your hobbies and interests. Whatever it takes to find yourself an outstanding identity. But that's really the problem, isn't it? Every time I change one thing, I get rid of another. And eventually you've strayed so far away from who you originally were that it feels like you're not even there for yourself anymore. You think back to who you used to be, and wish that things could go back to the way they were. At first you might blame society. After all, you wouldn't have wanted to make those changes if people weren't so uninterested. But then the harsh reality hits. I did this. No one made me change who I am. And now I'd give anything to go back. It's as if I walked away with everyone else, leaving me here alone, trapped by my own mind. They say there's a light at the end of the tunnel, a rainbow after the storm, that things will get better. Maybe they will, but maybe they won't. I don't really know sometimes. It's nice to think that time will make all the difference, that in time, I will become more unique, create an identity for myself, and live the life I want to live. But if my life continues to be anything like it is right now, I wouldn't bet on it. But time seems to be so good to everyone else. Like maybe the only thing that makes me unique is the fact that I'm not. Maybe in reality I'm the only one who isn't special. It certainly feels like that sometimes. If the only thing that stands out about me is my lack of uniqueness, then maybe that's just not the state of my life. Maybe that's not just how I am, but who I am. If the world forgot about me tomorrow, it wouldn't make a difference. Want to know how I know? Because they already did. Whether it's the past, present, or future, I am not unique. What's the point of searching for an identity if I already have one? This is who I am. This is how the world knows me. I guess I should just accept who I am and move on. But that's not good enough. That doesn't get me through the torture of believing that every aspect of the life that I have lived thus far has gone to waste. Let's be realistic here. Letting my lack of unique qualities define who I am doesn't help the problem. I'm not just gonna sit back and watch as my whole life comes burning down because of something I didn't want to fight against. Because if I let the fact that I'm an uninteresting person become my identity, then I may truly never escape that harsh reality. Saying that my lack of uniqueness is inevitable is to deny that there are people who are unique. Because there are unique people out there. They do exist. And as long as they exist, it's possible for you and I to be like them. In fact, many of them were in the same place you and I are right now. Not all of them. Some people truly are just born unique, for better or worse. But if there is even the slightest chance that I can be like them, then it's worth fighting for until I die. Maybe I'll go my whole life fighting for it, and only realizing at the end that I was destined not to be unique. But as much as that would hurt, I would take that pain over the pain of knowing I never tried any day. Imagining my future self looking back at who I am now, forever wondering if maybe I had just put in the effort I could have been unique, is too great of a pain. But I'll tell you what, I'm willing to bet that you are unique. And hear me out on this. It doesn't matter how many people know of your existence. It doesn't matter how popular you are. That's not what defines whether a person is unique or not. Because while we can work and even fight for popularity, I believe that everyone is unique. Yes, maybe the world is dancing around those who are popular, and maybe that's not fair. But the whole universe is dancing around you, and we can't just ignore that. There is so unbelievably much complexity to this universe, that to say that our lives on this planet, in this solar system, in this galaxy, and in this universe are unextraordinary would be the biggest overstatement of all time. If you really want to believe that you are unique, then the evidence is right here in front of you. We just have to abandon this basic mindset that reduces our entire lives down to a single word. Life is more complex than that. And if we start being honest with ourselves, then it becomes easy to see how truly special we actually are. I'll put it like this. We can mathematically calculate how many different ways there are to shuffle a deck of cards. That number is so large, in fact, that every single time you have ever shuffled that deck, you have certainly arranged them in an order that has never been done before. But here's the catch. There are only 52 cards in a deck. When you remember that your body alone is made up of an almost infinitely higher number of arrangeable parts, then how excessively unique we are becomes almost incomprehensible. If you take that same formula and apply it throughout time and space, taking into consideration every one of your actions and how they've affected the universe, then it becomes undeniable how large the ripples of your life will eventually be. Maybe it doesn't feel like it right now, but I promise that your existence will stretch far beyond your time here on Earth. Even identical twins can create completely different outcomes. We live in a fractal universe, and whether your life turns out good or bad, you have your place in this universe. No one but yourself gets to occupy that space. All we can do is live our lives in this reality. And yes, it might be tough, lonely, and even depressing. Life is not always fair, but a truly meaningful life is one that is worth living, despite our trials and tribulations. So just remember, you are unique, and no one can take that away from you. Thank you.